Hello, dear students. This is Ritik, your biology subject matter expert from memoneet. I hope your FLT 1 went really very well. And here we are to discuss the key answers with FLT 2. So, I'll be discussing especially the botany topic. Okay. So, as you can see here, you do have, what do you say that? Questions which was been asked to you, and in this part you have answers. So keeping this both, we'll be discussing like what was the correct answer and why. Okay. So the diagram of Down syndrome is made by examining the individual was your question, and four options was been given, right? One is spores or karyotypes or chromatin or nucleosomes. Spores, so that no way, because it's Down syndrome, it is related to human beings. Spores is the wrong option that we know. So chromatin and nucleosome is also a wrong option. So one thing that we come here is the karyotype. So why karyotype? Karyotype is nothing but it is actually a set of chromosomes, right, of an individual. So here we will try to study how many number of chromosomes are there. So if there is any addition of chromosome or deletion of chromosomes, or their arms length, if there is any variation, would leads to some kind of disorder, right? So karyotype is one way which could lead any syndromes. So here it is Down syndrome. So yeah, the option will be the two, because it is actually called as examine to analyzing the karyotypes. So then what is karyotypes here? It is actually a complete set of chromosome in an individual, arranged and displayed in the systematic way, typically organized by its size, shape, and number, right? And why do we use this karyotype? To study the genetics of an individual. So here it is all about what? A Down syndrome. So you can see here Down syndrome, uh, taking a cell sample, then it could be either from blood or anywhere, and staining the chromosome to visualize them under the microscope. So in your 21st position of the chromosome, if you see any additional, right, so that will leads to 46 chromosome, so additional one, that is 47 chromosome, where it is added in the 21st position. So then it could leads to carriot, that is the Down syndrome. So next, one or two question. So what does it says? You have created a fusion between tryptophan and lactoperon, which encodes the enzymes for tripropane biosynthesis under the regulatory control of the lactoperon. Under which of the following conditions will tryptophan synthesis be induced? So this is your question. So what are the options given? Only when both lactose and glucose are absent, only when both lactose and glucose are present, or only when the lactose is absent and glucose is present, or when the lactose is present and the glucose is absent. What could be the happen? See, as the fused operon is under a control of the operon gene. So what is the operon gene here? That could be operon gene, right? O gene. So it is of the lac operon. So only when this lac operon. So what happens here is, so when a lac operon is to be functional, uh, you know, it inducer, hence it there has to be a proper inducer. So as a fused operon is under the control of the operator gene of the lac operon, it will be functional only in the conditions required for the lac operon to be functional. So in lactoperon, what happens? The lactose function as inducer, hence its presence in medium is essential for the proper functioning, while glucose inhibitors its function. So in this condition, what happens? Only when the lactose is present, the glucose will be absent. Okay, and the glucose is absent, then only the entire. So in this condition, only the tryptophan will be produced only when the lactose is present and the glucose is absent with the medium. So what would be the correct answer here? Option 4. So we'll move to the next question then. So what was our next question here? 103, that is when a species become extinct, the plant and animal species associated with it in an obligatory way also become extinct. This phenomenon is referred to as what? This phenomenon is actually referred to as co-extinction. So that means one species is dependent with the other species. When a species goes extinct, the plant and animal which are associated, dependent on those other species, there is an interconnection between, they also get extinct or they may also become extinct because of the dependency association with it. Okay, and this phenomenon is actually called as coexistence. Remember? So, what would be the correct answer? Coexistence. So the next question is, the two groups of isolated thylakoids are placed in an acidic bathing solution so that H plus diffuses into the thylakoids. So they are then transferred to a basic bathing solution, and one group is placed in the light while the other group is kept in the dark. Select below the choice that describes what you expect each group of thylakoids to produce. Okay, so you have to produce, you have to select any correct option here. Okay, so what you are willing, like what you will see that it will be producing. See, when they are being placed in an acidic medium, okay, acidic medium, the protons, that is, what do you say that H plus ions, they get diffused inside this thylakoid. So here, right? So remember here, it is in thylakoid in an acidic medium. So what happens when they are being placed in an acidic medium? The protons diffuses inside the thylakoids. When these thylakoids are removed and placed in the basic medium, so there are no protons outside the thylakoids, and the protons gradient will develop because outside there is no thylakoids. So obviously the protons which are inside, they will force to go outside also, so that they make a proper balance. So then what happens? A proton gradient will develop, more protons inside the thylakoids and fewer outside. Due to this gradient, protons liberate energy while returning, back through the ATP synthesis channel from the thylakoid to outside. Okay. However, one set placed in light will also generate oxygen. That is what? By the POSPO system too. Sorry, that is through the POTO system too. And the other place in dark will not generate any of the ATP. So what would be the correct answer? That is ATP and O2, where in light, and ATP only in the dark condition. Next, we'll move to the 105. So, what is the 105 question? Match the column, and I mean, you have to correctly match them. Okay. Okay. So, what is the very first? That is Apoxymus. Then the second we have is Polyembryony. Then Parthenocarpe. So it is related to the plant. What do you say that? Reproduction and sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So we have to choose the correct answer. So polyembryony, we know that it is mango. So it is clear. Next, Parthenocarpe, we know it is actually what? Parthenocarpe, it is the seedless fruit, right? Because see, it is in the nature or artificially induced, production of fruit without fertilization of the ovules, which makes the fruit seedless. So this is this. So last, this is remaining. So what would be the correct option here now? A is 3, then B is 1, and C is 2. So option 1 is correct. So next we have 106. So what is 106 here? During which stage of the mitosis and meiosis, uh, respectively, does the centromere of each chromosome splits? This is the question. So yeah, you know this answer. During which phase of the or stage of the mitosis and meiosis, respectively, does the centromere of each chromosomes get split? During the anaphase, that is anaphase 2, right? Uh, of the mitosis and meiosis, centromere of each chromosomes, they get split and they get separated. Anaphase. Next question, that is match the following. We have to match the select the correct options. Now we have to match them. So yeah, it is already given. Zygomorphin cash. So they're actually the direct matching types based on the position. See here, the keynote is also given based on the position of Calyx, Corella, as well as Androecium. So with respect to the ovary on thalamus, the flowers are described as a hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. Okay, so what would be the correct option here? Fourth one. So next question is, yeah. So here they have already given you like why. Okay. Next one, not eight. So in the given formula, okay, this is the formula. We need to know the ecologist have discovered that the value of Z for smaller area lies in a range of, it is again a direct question from the textbook, that is 0.1 to 0.2. Let me check. Yeah, 0.1 to 0.2. So that is because z in the equatorial represents a slope of the line irrespective of the taxonomic group. Okay, and the value of the z ranges between 0.1 to 0.2. Remember that for the smaller area I'm talking. Okay, so when corresponding to the larger area, it might get differ like 0.6 to 1.2, like that z ranges. So smaller area, always remember it is 0.1 to 0.2. So if the larger area, the slope become steeper and the value of z ranges between 0.6 to 1.2. So that is very important. Okay, so next is 109. So in 109, the Krebs cycles are occurs in which organisms? So it's very simple. In which organisms does the Krebs cycles it occurs? So one thing we know is Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondria. So I need to understand where mitochondria presence. So then the mitochondria are actually present in where? They are present in almost all the prokaryotes or eukaryotes. Where it is present? It is present in the eukaryotes, right? And not in the prokaryotes. So we need to again classify which are the one which we see the prokaryotes, sorry, eukaryotes. So euglena, then sparganum, then we also see in the sea cucumber and the pinus. So what would be the answer now? Fourth one. Very simple. So why Nostoc we doesn't see? Because in so Nostoc it is actually what? They are actually the prokaryotic cyanobacteria, right? Nostocs are bacteria, cyanobacteria, and they're prokaryotes. So we know that Krebs cycle doesn't occur in prokaryotes. So very simple. Next 110. The which event takes place in the mesophile cell of the C4 plant? So which event, what event does takes place in the mesophile cell of the C4 plants? Do you know what event will actually takes place? All the events, right? So all the events, that is activity of PKs or CO2 carbon dioxide fixation or the formation of OAA. So everything will takes place in the mesophile cells of the C4 cycle. So option 4. So combined total of the species of the fishes, amphibians, reptiles, and mammals will be less than the species of what? So fungi or algae or mosses or fins. So what would be the correct answer? Fungi. Because the number of the fungal species in the world are actually more than the combined total species of, it could be the fishes or it could be the algae, mosses, and the fins, even reptiles, mammals. When you combine all these species together, uh, you know, the fungal species in the world are more. So this for second might be the correct answer. Next question is 112. The phenotype of an organism is the result of what? So the cytoplasmic effects and nutrients, or environmental changes and sexual dimorphism, genotype and environmental interactions, or mutations and linkage. What would be the correct answer now, according to you? Phenotype of an organism, right? It's actually a result of the genotype and the environmental interaction. So, what could be the correct answer now? Option 3. So, I'll move to the next question, that is 113, which says that which of the following statement is correct for the TMV and bacteriophage? So, yeah, which statement would be correct now? So, it is a type of connecting link, that is TMV and bacteriophage. They're the connecting link with like where virus, right? So virus is actually acts as a connecting link between the living as well as non-living, because see, when there is a favorable condition, they become actively start replication, and during unfavorable condition, they behave like a non-living being, showing no activity. So one thing we can come to a conclusion, that is it is a type of connecting link. Next 114, select the correct statement of the flagella. So flagella's correct statement is it is involved in mortality, so that is mortality, or it is membrane bound cell organelle, or it is related with the eukaryotes, and all of them. See, the correct statement is, yeah, it does shows the mortality. Membrane bonded cell organelles is also right. And the eukaryotes are also related with the eukaryotes is also right. So all the three statements are right. So all four. Next question, 115. We need to select the incorrect statement from the ribosome. So what is the incorrect statement here? So the first thing, let us know with the correct statement. Correct statement could be related with the protein synthesis. Ribosome, yes, ribosome does protein synthesis, correct? Then what? Another thing could be like presence in some cell organelles is also correct. Like some cell organelles, like that is mitochondria, correct? And it could be also with the chloroplast. So, yeah, what would be the correct? It is semi-autonomous organelles is actually wrong. Incorrect statement. So I'll go with 116. Select the incorrect match here. So what would be the incorrect match? So the coenzyme organic compound, correct. NADPH, that is vitamin SID, is also correct. Then NAD is actually a coenzyme, and zinc is cofactor. So option 3 is correct. 117. There are two statements given. We have to choose the I think correct statement. Statement 1, in the dicot leaf, the tissue between the upper and the lower epidermis is called the mesophile. Okay, and that is correct. So it is correct. So statement 2 is, in the dicot leaf, the vascular bundles are surrounded by a layer of thick walled bundle sheet cells. So statement second is also correct. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answers from the options given below. I don't need to, because option 4 is correct. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So we'll go with the next, that is select the incorrect match. So we have to choose the incorrect match here. So what would be the incorrect match? German naturalist, that is Alexander von, it's correct. Then Stanford ecologist, that is Paul Henrich, is also correct. Sociobiologist Edward Wilson is also correct. Then the river popper hypothesis is actually given by David Tillmansa. Okay, Paul Henrich. So the option 4 is incorrect. So this is the correct answer. Some glitch, I guess, with split screen sharing, and that's fine. Like, well, we know the answers, and I guess like we will discuss that. So coming to the 119 question, we have to read the following statement, which is 1 to 4 given, and we have to opt the correct options, which indicates the terms associated with it. So what is the term here now? Yeah. So says that the number of birth during a given period in a population that are added to initial density. So what we normally call it as mortality, right? So then the death of a population in a given period of time will be mortality. And the third one is number of individuals of the same species that have come into the habitat for from elsewhere during a given period of time, right? So that is actually called as third one. That is actually called as immigration. And the last one, that the number of individuals who left habitat and gone elsewhere during a given period of time. So it is actually called as immigration. Immigration. So yeah, what would be the answer now? Option 4. Correct. So we'll move to the next question, that is 120. One is assertion is given, the next is the reason. So assertion is the mango and the papaya are the type of true fruits. And the reason for that is what they're giving us, the mango and the papaya fruits thalamus also contribute for fruit formation. See, we need to understand here that is a mango and a papaya, thalamus also contribute to the fruit formation. This is actually not correct. Why? In the case of mango and in the case of papaya fruit, what happens is that thalamus do not contribute. Okay, so it do not contribute to the fruit formation, because here the both the mango and the papaya are true fruits here, meaning that they developed from the ovary. Okay, they actually develop from the ovary of the flower after fertilization. So that too after fertilization. So what would be the option here? A is true, but R is false, right? A is true. That is, mango and papaya are a type of true fruits is correct. But the thalamus also contribute for the fruit formation is wrong. Okay. So next question is 121. That is, which of the following is correct statement for the endospore? So yeah, it is the product of the double fertilization is correct. Formed in both endospermic seeds and non-endospermic seeds is also correct. And the cells of these tissues are filled with the reverse food material and are used for the nutrition of the developing embryo is also correct. So all the options are correct. So next question is 122. That is, select the correct match. So we have to select the correct match here. So yeah, tobacco budworm. That is, what would be the correct match here? Select the correct match, which is actually a correct match. See, tobacco budworm, it is actually comes under, this is wrong. It comes under the Lepidopterans, right? So because it is a type of Lepidopterans that comes under the order insects, that includes butterflies and moth. Then we have the, you know, army worm, which is the, again, they also comes under insects. So they are also the Lepidopterans. This is also wrong. Then we have the beetles. So actually here, the beetles actually they comes under the coleopterans. Correct. So any worm is a member of this order, like any worm. So coleopterans like beetles belongs to the order coleopterans. Like it could be caterpillars, anything like that. So this is correct. Then the mosquito, that is lepidopterans, is again wrong. It comes under what? Diphtherians, right? So this is the correct match. So next question is 123. So what is 123 here? Statement 1 they have given, in the bacteria, the transcribed mRNA is functional, hence can directly be translated. Statement 2 says that the tRNA binds to the specific amino acid at one end and paired through H bonding with the codes on mRNA through its anticodons. So which statement is actually correct? 120 4. Okay, I read 124, right? I thought like 123. So yeah, according to this, yeah, both the statement is correct because statement one in bacteria, the transcribed mRNA is functional, hence can be directly be translated is actually correct, right? But statement two is also correct. So yeah, statement four. So then what is the statement? Sorry, what is the question 123 states? Select the incorrect match. H and RNA, then this are here given and this is. So incorrect match. So yeah, this is correct. Like that belongs to eukaryotes, right? Yeah, this is correct. Then sigma factor is also correct. It comes in the transcription. Then rho factor also comes in a transcription. H and RNA, it is streptococcus. No, because it is absent. H and RNA is actually absent in the, you know, prokaryotes because they're present in the eukaryotes. So it is absent in bacteria. Okay, so streptococcus is a bacteria. So this is the incorrect statement. Okay. So next we have is 125 here. So statement one, they have given in sickle cell anemia, the mutant hemoglobin molecules undergoes the polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing the change in the shape of the RBC from bioconcave disc to enlarged sickle-like structure. And statement two says that the Turner syndrome's results due to the gain of X chromosome in human female. So we have to choose the correct answer here. So see, in sickle cell, that is correct. The statement one is actually correct, but the statement two that they're saying, right, that Turner syndrome results due to the loss of X chromosome in the human female. So this statement is the due to the gain of X chromosome is wrong because it is loss. So statement second one is the correct answer. Next we have is 126. So what is 126 here? Two statements again, we have to choose the correct one. So statement one is the possibility of the female becoming a hemophilic is extremely rare because mother of such a female has to be at least a carrier and the father should be hemophilic. Statement two was like the family pedigree of the Queen Victoria shows a number of hemophilic descendant as the way a carrier of the disease. So both the thing are correct. So option 4 is the correct. Next 127, we have to choose the correct statement here. That is from 2 to 4, we have to choose the correct. So it is a type of that is dichlorophenoxyacetic is a type of PGA or auxin. It is naturally synthesized in plant or it is largely plant growth promoter. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? What could be the answer? See, one thing is it is a type of PGR. Yes. Next, it is a type of auxin. Yes. It is naturally synthesized in plant. No, it is artificially synthesized. Okay. Artificially synthesized auxin. Then it is largely plant growing promoters. That is true. So A, B, and D. Where do you find this? A, B, and D. Option 3. Next 128 we have here. So what does 128 says? So the sigmoid curve of growth generally not dependent upon. Correct. So it generally not dependent upon color of organisms, size of gametes, number of chloroplast in plants. So option 4 is the correct. So 129 we have that is given below are the two statements. One is labeled as a assertion and the another one is reasoning. So what is assertion that given here is where it is? Yeah, the RQ of the triplomatin are less than 1. Then when the triplomatin are used as respiratory substrate, then volume of the carbon dioxide evolved are greater than volume of the oxygen consumed. In the light of the above statement, what is the choose? I need to choose, right? 129. Yeah, both are also correct. When the triplamycin that is used as a respiratory substance, the volume of the CO2 actually what happens? It evolves in indeed greater than the volume of the O2, which is actually what consumed. So this is due to the fact that the respiratory what do you say that quotient that is QR sorry RQ. Okay, so for this is actually less than 1. So option 4 would be the correct answer. Right. So next we have is 130 question. So which is the we need to select the proper match. Mono monocotyledons. It belongs to the angiosperm. Then the dicotyledons, angiosperm. Then the pinus, double fertilization, and we have the syndrome. So the pollen grains. So here double fertilization is actually it is absent. So option 3 would be the correct because double fertilization is only fine they have been found in where angiosperms, right? So the pinus double fertilization is incorrect. Next we have is 131. So 131 select the correct options for the Panchan Maheshwari. So that is what uh, who is she? She is actually an Indian botanist. So it is again a direct question from textbook. So she is an Indian botanist. So it comes in reproduction and especially in the sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Yeah, it do comes in that sexual reproduction of flowering plants. So next we have is 132, which says like in the given below example, honey plants in which superior ovary are present. Okay, what will be the correct answer now? 15, right? 132. Yeah, 15. Why? See, inferior ovary, superior ovary. So, superior ovary means mustard, tryptin, the radish, ladyfinger, then the lobia, arar, then we have this, all these things will come. Okay, so that is 15. So it is present in the mustard, then the trypsin, then it is also present in the radish, it is present in the lady's finger, then the lobia, arhar, then cassia, then tamaridin, then it is also present in acai, then the mimosa, we then marigold it is not present. Okay, this is also not present here. The wheat it is present. Then rice, sugar cane, doob grass, and barley. So totally 15 are there. Yeah, 15 is the correct out of 18. So select the incorrect match 133. So AUG is a start codon. Yes. Then what? UAG is also is a stop codon is right, and AUG is a methanoidin codon is also right. AAA is a stop codon. No, A is not a stop codon. It is incorrect match. Okay, so 134. The what is 134 here actually? Select the correct statement of the chemosynthesis autotropic bacteria. Okay, we need to know that. It is prokaryotic organisms. They play a greater role in the recycling of the nutrients. It is smallest living cell. It also referred to as blue-green algae. So what would be the correct answer? They play a greater role, okay, for the yeah, recycling of the nutrients is fine. So option 2 is the correct because it is a prokaryotic organism. That is one thing, and they play a very greater role in the recycling of the nutrients, or it is a smaller living cell. Everything is fine. Select the correct statement of the chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. That is what. So yeah, autotrophic bacteria they play a very important role in the recycling of the nutrients. Then it is a prokaryotic because that's what they said. Correct. So what would be the correct answer? Option 2, only A and B. So next we have is in the Magnifera indica lin. Lin is related. Okay, lin is related with what? It has been related with what? So that is the question. So option 2, that is Linnaeus. Lin is nothing but Linnaeus, the scientist's name. So this was all about the botany topic. I guess zoology topic will be a separate video. And I hope your doubts and your answers are clear and you have did really very well. So looking forward for your next coming test, that is FLT 3. I hope you'll give your best there. And yes, all the best for your preparations. Thank you.